So recently I've been thinking about video game trailers and how they always tend to release trailers for video games that don't come out anytime soon. And you can definitely tell when a game isn't ready because a lot of the times they just don't show what the date is for their release. It just says coming soon. Why?
I don't have the foggiest idea.
Y'all remember when Elder Scrolls 6 was first announced? It was super hype when you get to see like the logo come up and like the landscapes and stuff, but then it doesn't tell you anything else. Why? Why, Todd?
All of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
Knights of the Old Republic, one of my favorite franchises of all time and probably one of my favorite games of all time, is getting a remake. And why did I get shown this really hype-ass trailer of Revan turning on his lightsaber, only to then be disappointed when the group of people that were supposed to be making it, Aspire, just kind of got swept under the rug, and now another company is making the game and it seems like they may have to start from scratch. I am not going to be seeing this game for a long ass time. And while we're on the subject of Star Wars Eclipse. Or how about that Captain America trailer, which actually looks really fucking good, but I'm not gonna see it until 2025. We're still at the beginning of 2024. Why did you show it? Oh, Ubisoft.
We're here at Ubisoft Toronto, and we'll be sitting down with some of the team working on the Splinter Cell remake.
Ubisoft, I'm sick of your shit. If you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, I am so sorry that you got trailer after trailer after trailer and it still didn't come out for over 10 years. And just so you know, I'm one of those fans. Dead Island 2 was originally announced in 2014 and it didn't come out till 2023. It took them almost 10 years to finally get their shit together through development hell and finally release the game. The original trailer though is actually still kind of fun. I remember when Bethesda came up on stage to tell you when Fallout 4 was coming out, and they were showing you all these different things like the concept for the game. They showed you the trailer for the game, they showed you the gameplay of the game, and then they said, hey, it's coming out in 3 months. Why can't companies do that anymore? Hi-Fi Rush is another great example of a game that was really good. Showed off at Xbox's conference, they showed a trailer, they showed some gameplay, and then they said, hey, if you're interested in what you saw, you can play it right now.
Not only were we super psyched for you to play this, we're happy to tell you that you can play Hi-Fi Rush tonight. Not a demo, the full game. Seriously.
And these two examples just go to show that you don't really need to draw a pipe for years and years on end. You can show off a game literally the day of and still do amazingly. And hell, it was one of Xbox's best exclusives up until they gave it to PlayStation, but regardless, it's still a fantastic game and I think everybody should be playing it. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about video game trailers that were released, but their video games were not. This still really hurts. ScaleBound was a collaboration between Platinum Games and Microsoft. Create a really cool action RPG that was basically had the same feel as Devil May Cry. But unfortunately, they weren't able to work together. Microsoft seemed like they wanted a whole lot of stuff and Platinum Games didn't want to add these things, and it was changing the way that the game was supposed to be coming out. And unfortunately, they had ended up having to scrap the game. And this still upsets me to this very day because they really fumbled the ball. When it comes to Platinum Games, they always come out with some really great titles. And if you don't allow them to cook, they obviously are just going to be like, you know what, whatever, let's just do something else instead. And they ended up going that route, and it still upsets me that we never got to see anything because all this is so cool. Here's another Star Wars game I'm going to be talking about, Star Wars 1313. One of the most famous games that never got released, but the trailer looks super good. And it's a shame it never got released because recently we've gotten footage of being able to play as Boba Fett, and that actually still looks pretty good too. And I only just found this out after researching this game that it was from 1313. I thought it was from a canceled Boba Fett game. This unfortunately was canceled due to the merger of Lucasfilm and Disney. However, maybe in the future they could possibly bring this back. This has been kind of going around as rumors that they're going to be bringing this back, but unfortunately none of it is substantial. Now this one is strange because it was a playable trailer that unfortunately cannot be played anymore, and if you still have it on your console, you're one of the lucky ones, and I'm talking about PT. And this playable trailer is pretty much famous for being really fucking scary, and unfortunately I'm not able to play it or download it, so I have to kind of steal somebody's footage of this game. But it honestly is really cool that this game was going to be a thing, and it genuinely looks scary. It had a lot of great concepts, a lot of weird random things that you would never think of, like talking into your controller's mic in order to set off certain things in order for you to progress in the game. It just seemed really cool, and it's really sad to see that this disappointingly got canceled. But Kojima ended up making his own studio because of this, and so maybe it was for the better. Let's shift gears one more time and talk about CG trailers, because honestly I think this is a really good topic to be talking about. Do you guys remember those MMO Star Wars games where they show off like the CG trailers for it, and it was super cool, super hype, it had its own little story to it too, and every time a new one came out you're like, oh, this shit's sick, I wish they made a movie out of this. Yeah, this isn't that. This is more about CG trailers that just kind of show something, and by the end of it you're still like, what the fuck did I just watch? The CG trailer for Fable, I still don't know what I was looking at. Is it about a heroine on an epic quest? Is it about a giant meeting a heroine? I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. Star Wars Eclipse. Okay, so admittedly I've never heard of this game before. I kind of just stumbled upon it when I was researching different CG trailers for video games, and it kind of caught my eye, and I don't know what this game's about at all. It just seems to be like a different reality of New York. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got from it. This is kind of my problem with CG trailers, is that you don't really know what it's going to be truly about. You get a rough idea about what the story might be about, but you're never going to understand, like, is it first person shooter? Is it a hack and slash? Is it a role-playing game? Is it third person? Is it fucking a Call of Duty clone? Who knows? Like, you never do know with these CG trailers, and that's my problem with it, is that you don't actually see anything. They don't actually show you anything, just don't show anything at all. Now, I might be sounding a little too upset for something this minute, because honestly this has been going on for years and years and years, and it's probably never going to change. And hell, I do love seeing some of these games getting announced and showing off what they're going to be doing, but ultimately when I think about it, it ends up just being a whole lot of nothing, and then within a couple months I end up forgetting about it. I would love to see some of these creators actually wait on things that they love as well, and release and announce things when they are ready. Also, I do think this is a really interesting topic to really talk about. I do want to hear a lot of your guys' opinions on whether or not you really think this is something that we should be even talking about, if it's the big deal, if it's not. I do see a lot of people that do think it's somewhat a big deal, but when you see something that you love and it gets announced, you know, I can totally understand the hype, and I'm probably right there next to you too. So if I talk about every single video game trailer that's come out way too soon, we'll be here all day, all night. It would be extremely long, so I'm gonna end it off here. These are just video games that I feel personally connected to and I really wanted to talk about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.